The hierarchy copy node can be useful in changing the hierarchy and rearranging your scene graph. While not a content creation application, Katana does have the ability to transform, edit, and duplicate objects. For example, let's say we want to cover this empty space at the back. We'll duplicate this painting over to the wall in the corner. A hierarchy copy node is used for this situation. We'll place it below our location imports. In the parameters, insert the source location, which is the path of a painting we want to duplicate, in this case SDR frame large 01. For the destination locations, you can either set it to a destination that already exists or to a new one. We already have two assets of name SDR frame large, so to keep things consistent, let's name this duplicate SDR frame large 03 and set it to the same path as the others. In the scene graph, we now have a new location which has the same hierarchy and namespacing. Looking in the viewer, this asset is now duplicated, but it's at the same position as the source location. Before we transform the frame to the other wall, let's quickly go over the other parameters in the hierarchy copy. In destination locations, there's the option to set multiple locations, in which case one copy will be created in each of those locations. If you want to create multiple copies, set the makeNumberedCopies parameter to yes, and set the number of copies you want. In some cases, you may want to remove the source object you are copying, in which case you can set the prune source to yes. Now that we've duplicated this frame, let's use the Transform 3D node to move it to the other wall. Place the scene graph location in Path, the makeinteractive to yes, and transform the object in the viewer. Group them by selecting them and hitting G. It's also important to point out that we've put these nodes after the geometry imports to keep all the geometry operations in the same section of the node graph. By keeping consistency, for you and the people working with you, it'll save a lot of time. In the next episode, we'll cover look files.